First, you must realize that you have no idea before you can know the idea. We scan across all the frequencies if we want to learn anything new. Let us begin.
What has physics done for me lately?
Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc squared.
We have now acquired a fateful power to alter and to destroy nature.
That's like when you're in physics and you go to Dreamworld saying, oh, this is a physics excursion.
Science. What is it all about?
The whole of human history all falls in the dust of one stroke of the nail file. You can't really get to grips with evolution unless you realise what an enormous amount of time.
Our own planet is only a tiny part of the vast cosmic tapestry, a starry fabric of worlds yet untold.
You ready for it? Mm-hmm. You tune into what can only be described as the best radio station on this blue dot we call Earth. It is, of course, 4ZZZ, your community radio broadcaster. Be it on your conventional wireless radio by tuning into the classic frequency of 102.1 FM, digital devices such as DAB or smart speaker, listening via the Community Radio Plus app, or streaming us live from our sensational website at 4ZZZ.org. And of course, you can always listen back to this show or any 4ZZZ show using the ingenious on-demand feature also found at that URL. We also now have a weekly podcast of the show for your listening pleasure, curated by Toby, a condensed version of the show without the music, which Mum prefers. Just search for our show name, which is, of course, No Idea, spelt with a K, your weekly dose of science. And joining me for this episode, 700 and whatever, speaking about all things science.
Scientifically accurate.
I've just got 7XX written. Three of my favourite science communicators. May I please introduce Peta.
Hello.
Gabrielle.
Hello.
And Isabel.
Hello.
Max, 51 years of 4ZZZ is what we're celebrating this year during the Radiothon period. 1975 was when 4ZZZ was started. 1 year before that, though, Max, was the retirement of a Ferrari. And not just any Ferrari. Yes. But the Ferrari with the largest engine they had ever fitted to a car. And depending on who you are, still remains to be the largest engine Ferrari has ever strapped into a car on the road or on the racetrack.
That can just mean inefficiency, though.
Well, we'll get there. It was made for the Can-Am series, which is the Canadian-American series. Doesn't run anymore. It actually ended in 1974 and started again up in the 80s. But it was this big no limits,
unrestricted
muscle, unrestricted vehicle sort of race series. And so this Ferrari was raced. It didn't race much, and it didn't win anything.
Ran out of fuel.
Because of its 7-litre, 12-cylinder engine, and because it was a prototype car, it was given the name the Ferrari 712P. And it just so happens that this is our 712th episode, Max, of No Idea. It is Radiothon. The theme for our Radiothon this year is fiercely independent, because that is exactly what 4ZZZ has been for the last 51 years. What do you got coming up in our next
I'm going to be talking about something
hours?
that might help you sleep, but in the distant future, if you are planning on sleeping then. And then some cool new behaviour that we've been seeing out of humpbacks for the first time ever.
I've got some stuff on some strange redback spider intercourse, which you
can only get on a fiercely independent radio station. Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting how crazy that it was going to get as I was researching that story. I've also gone through our archives from the last 12 months and pulled out all of our stats for No Idea from the last 12 months. And
total numbers, total minutes of dead air.
Oh, all of it. The whole thing. We're going to get into it all. Max and Izzy, what you got coming up?
I'm talking Barbie and Ken getting it on.
Nice. And I'm talking chocolate, baby. Keeping it sweet.
Fair enough. Okay, if you want to subscribe, and I hope you do, because you can go into for some great prizes. Go to the website at 4ZZZ.org.au/support.
4ZZZ has been fiercely independent since 1975. 50 years on and we're still mainly funded by subscribers. If you want 4ZZZ to remain fiercely independent, then subscribe at 4ZZZ.org.au/support.
The light's been going off pretty hard here.
Nice.
Oh,
Here we go again. Come on.
Give it to us, man.
Give it. We run a tight ship.
That's a combination of the an F1 car and the baby harp seal who's lost its mother.
Special little subscriber benefit.
Yeah. Remember, we're not a cruelty-free show.
That was David from 8 Mile Plains. We've had Bob from Kalanga. We've had Samuel from Upper Kedron.
We got another one, Max. You got to keep going.
Owen subscribed.
We've got some impeccable timing.
It's all
going
much.
off.
Anyway, you tune to 4ZZZ and the show's No Idea, your weekly dose of science with me, Max. We got Issy, we got Gabe, we got Peta, and we got, oh Jesus. It's time for a bit of this. Hit us up, Peta.
All right, on this special Radiothon day, I need to start my weird science with an acronym warning.
Oh, no.
Because I had already started writing this. I thought it was a really cool study, and then I hit the acronym and I went, and it was a real struggle not to punish them by not talking about it at all, but the tech is too cool, so we will talk about it. How's everyone sleeping?
Yeah, all right.
Well, I reckon Jeff from Acacia Ridge is sleeping pretty nicely after subscribing.
On that 4ZZZ in the globe.
That's right. No need for blankets in this one. Yeah.
That's fair. Well, I reckon that's pretty good because about 14.5% of adults suffer from sleep difficulties. Does anyone know what REM sleep is?
Random eye movement.
Rapid eye movement.
Yeah.
That is correct. Do you know what happens in REM sleep?
It's deep sleep is the colloquial name, right? Is REM
No,
sleep?
that's the other one. Deep
the
sleep
other
is
one.
when you don't have rapid eye
That's
movement.
REM.
Isn't it where your
In and
eyes
out of
flicker
that.
back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how they know you're in
Yeah,
REM.
you're in REM.
Is that when you're sort of consolidating the day's events into your memory?
No, that's also the other one.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll just tell you what it is. In
I think we should
REM,
keep guessing.
This is way more fun. Isn't it when?
So REM sleep is commonly known for being the time when you dream, and that's part of the reason for the rapid eye movement. It's really important for your memories and day consolidation, but it's really important for emotional regulation, stress adaptation, and they call it a state of proto-consciousness. So you're not conscious, but there's something happening that's a bit weird. And REM sleep disruptions have been associated with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. So the idea is that if you can increase your REM duration, you may be and that's not going to help for REM. That sort of sound. I wouldn't recommend playing that when you're trying to sleep. But if you do increase your REM duration, you may help prevent some of those neuropsychiatric conditions or even help them once you have it. Currently, the way we do this is through meds. So there's melatonin is a really common one, or clonazepam is another one. And then there's neuromodulation. So neuromodulation is what it sounds like. You are altering neural activity, but they do it through targeted pulses. And there's lots of different things you can do. So one of them is deep brain stimulation. Has anyone heard about this?
Deep brain stimulation.
Yes. It's been around for a little while now, but essentially they implant electrodes in your brain through little holes in your skull, and they will send electrical pulses, almost like a pacemaker, but through your skull. And that technology is used for a bunch of different things, but it has been able to change sleep through the targeting of the subthalamic nucleus. You don't need to remember the name of it, you just need to know it's part of your brain very, very deep in the middle, and it's part of the basal ganglia, or it's sort of in your lizard brain is what we would say.
Okay.
It specializes in subconscious body movement, but it is very important for sleep. Now, of course, things like deep brain stimulation is highly invasive. You have to go through a very crazy surgery. You have to get holes in your skull.
It's usually only used for quite severe sort of illnesses like Parkinson's, epilepsy, those sorts of things.
Those sorts of things is
where
the
you've
only
got
time you'd really do
involuntary
it.
movement often is what's being associated with and used to try and treat.
Yeah, so DBS is something you'd only do in a worst case scenario where you really want to, it's your option C, D, E. But one of the things they found is that they could affect sleep. Obviously, you wouldn't get that done just to fix your sleep. That's not on the table. But they found out that they could help sleep conditions with it. But there's some new tech called transcranial focused ultrasound. And instead of pulses of electricity, it sends pulses of mechanical energy through the skull, and it can do it really, really precisely. So ultrasound, if anyone's gotten one, it's just sort of sound waves, really, pushing through your body and reflecting back, and that's what it reads. It's a similar technology. Broad. They can actually get the focus spot down to about 1 millimeter, so they can make it very, very, very focused, which is important in this work. You don't just want to hit the whole brain with waves of activity. That's not going to work. And it can go through the skull. It doesn't need any surgery. You don't need to cut into your skull to get it in. So it's a good idea. Current tech is massive, and you have to have your head locked in like a box for it to work. So that's not going to help for sleep, because I don't know anyone who can sleep with their head locked in a box. But that is what researchers at the University of Texas, QS ranking.
Oh no.
102.
University of Texas.
Yep.
0.1.
80.
I'm going 54.
72. Congratulations, Gabe. Very close. And that's what they wanted to change, is to see whether they could use this new tech, this ultrasound tech, but make it sleep-worthy. And so this is where we get to the point where I'm less impressed with these researchers. They have made something they call the N.E.U.SLee.P. And that comes from non-invasive electrophysiological recording and ultrasound neuromodulation, sleep. So that's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. There's 3 words in there that they've just missed.
A P word that is not a new sleep at all, except for right at the end. There's something in the middle.
There's patch at the end for P. But the sleep, S-L-E-E, just comes from sleep. We could have just used sleep. But they've missed the opinion. They missed the word neuromodulation, which is the main thing it's doing. How did you miss that? It drives me up the wall. An acronym, you have to use all things in it. Just because you're being clever doesn't mean you're being clever, right? So we're going to keep calling it the N.E.U.SLee.P, but just know that every time I say that, I lose a brain cell, which is not the point of the N.E.U.SLee.P. It's meant to help your brains. It is much smaller. It's a silicon-based machine. It is a patch, like it sounds. It says sleep patch. When I heard of it, was imagining like an Apple Watch-sized thing sort of on your forehead, right? No, not quite. It is made of silicon, which seems more comfortable, but it's sort of the entire, imagine like the size of your cheek, temple, and it wraps around your ear, a bunch of little spindly things that go all over your face. So you kind of look like you're in a superhero movie. Like, you know how Doc Ock has those things on his face that controls
We're doing Spider-Man
arms?
now, okay, yeah.
I famously love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Imagine if Doc Ock was a bit overzealous and put on even more electrodes all over his face. That's kind of what you look like, but it does seem to be soft. And then they tested this new thing out on 28 people. So they actually looked at both healthy sleepers and participants with sleep difficulties. And the device was targeting that same area of the subthalamic nucleus. Yeah. So Gabe's just looking at the patch now. What do you think?
It's a big patch just in front of your ear. It's where it sits. And then it's got all these electrodes coming off it. And wires.
Well, we think electrodes. I'm not entirely sure. That's just what it looks a bit like.
And then a lot of wiring going into it. So yeah,
Would you sleep with that? Do you think?
Not well.
Get a good night's sleep?
Not well.
Not well.
Especially if you're a side sleeper as well.
Yeah. What if you subscribe though, Gabe? Would you sleep better then?
Yeah, I would, Max. But this N.E.U.SLee.P patch still wouldn't help.
It's interesting. So it's funny that you say you wouldn't sleep that well on it, because on average, it did help. Patients entered REM sleep 43 minutes sooner and remained in that stage for about 16 minutes longer. 43 minutes to get to sleep, like faster to get to sleep, is a significant period of time. I don't know about you, but if you were tossing and turning in bed for an hour and a half and that suddenly became 45 minutes, that's amazing. And then again, this was trying to make their REM sleep longer. That was the main point of the trial, and it did that. In healthy participants, they also saw that the stimulation increased heart rate variability, which is often used as a way to indicate your body's ability to respond to stress. So that was good, just general physiological health. And they also saw that it was changing circuits associated with emotions. And because we know that REM sleep is important for emotional regulation, they thought that maybe this technology could also support mood regulation and psychological resilience as well. Before we leave, I do want to highlight the real limitations of the study, as the authors did in their own paper. It was only 28 people. It was single blind, not double blind, which I think I mean, yeah, you were putting patches on people's faces. So they were like, they want to do more with this. But it does look like very promising technology. To put a giant rigid box down to a flexible silicon patch is amazing. Personally, while I don't think it looks that comfortable right now, I do think that I can see this in the next few years becoming the next big health wearable. Like, you've got your Apple Watch, but then you've also got your little silicon patch that you put on your temple every night to help you go to bed.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would be a very commercially viable product should they be able to make it look a little less strange. Any thoughts?
There's a lot.
Okay, use one of these.
I was still thinking about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. People who have sleep issues, it's a genuine thing. It's a genuine, serious issue for people. So I'm sure they'd take whatever solutions
At least 14.5% of adults. So yeah.
We got a text in from Russell. Good morning, No Idea team.
Good morning.
Just to say, this is why I've subscribed, to hear your amazing show, the joy and laughter and facts and good music. Thank you. Thanks, Russell. Thanks for subscribing.
Is the state of the world keeping you up at night? If you support 4ZZZ, you can rest easy knowing that you've helped us remain fiercely independent. Subscribe at 4ZZZ.org.au/support.
Is no subscribers during that song? What's going on? I wanted to play the Baby Heart Seal interlaced with the F1 car. If you want to go and subscribe, go to our website at 4ZZZ.org.au/support. There's a myriad of pricing there. If you're under 18, it's 25. If you want to subscribe your pet, it's 25. Basic or concession, $40. A full subscription is $80. Passionate, $140. A super sub, $500. If you're a solo artist, it's $85. And if you want to subscribe your band, like Owen's going to do for his randomised band, it's $160. You tune into 4ZZZ, and the show's No Idea, your weekly dose of science with me, Max. We got Issy, we got Peta, and we got Gabe for part 2. What's up, Gabe?
Part 2. Now, is anyone game enough to try and take a guess at how redback spiders mate? A little warning that this will contain stories of animal intercourse and some self-sacrificial behaviour.
They got a bit of a tramp stamp on them, haven't they? When you
do they rub butts?
They do.
The tramp stamp. It's kind of
hard. Yeah. Gee, that would be a really sick tramp stamp if anyone wants to get one. Have a look.
If we hit our subscriber goal, we will all get redback.
No, absolutely not.
Tell you what, if we hit 2,000 in this show total, we're a third of the way there. If we hit the full radiothon total in this show,
to go with my low slung jeans. Nice.
I don't know how redbacks breed.
There's no butt to butt.
I reckon they've got a cloaca, right? The males. So I do read.
They have palps. Which
palps. I do reckon there is some internal fraternization happening. So I believe there's something like that. It's similar to other insects or arachnids where they kill the female kills the male afterwards, because that.
There's a bit of that going on.
Yeah, of course there is.
The mating starts with the males, which are much smaller than the females, very common in insects. The males, often their purpose really is just for the mating. And then,
so you see,
as they should be.
Then they die.
And that's it. And so you'll never be bitten by a male redback because they can't. They don't have that ability. So
one day, Gabe, dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
So the male,
keep dreaming,
which is much smaller than the female, will start by sort of plucking on her web a bit and doing a bit of a dance to sort of get her attention.
Entice people.
Yo, girl, I'm here.
From the videos I've seen, the female seems unmoved.
Unperturbed.
The whole point of the plucking and dancing is to avoid being attacked, not to bring the female closer.
Right.
It's
not
don't eat me, baby. Exactly. And then so gradually the male will approach and then gets close. And at this point, the male has a problem. No matter what, unless he gets extremely lucky, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, but pretty much no matter what, the female is going to sink her fangs into him and kill him at some point in the not too distant future when he gets this close.
Yeah.
She's
lunge and roll. Lunge and roll.
Lunge and roll. Max, they've got an even better bit of acrobatics coming up for you. Because the main problem for the male is not that he's going to be eaten by his mate. That he might be, if she's too quick, she'll kill him before he's deposited sperm. And particularly before he's deposited sperm in both of her spermatheca, which she's got two of these spots where sperm can be deposited. The females are believed to have evolved this as a way of getting multiple males' sperm to access when making eggs, because they can hold on to it for up to 2 years, I think. But the male is counter-evolving a way of, because it's not in the male's genetic interest to allow another male to come along. So the male's problem is, how does he deposit sperm into both of these deposits within the female before she kills him?
Gotcha.
Right? So all the male needs to do is delay death long enough to deposit sperm.
That's that male. That's it.
That's how fast he has to go. So to avoid this, male redbacks have come up with a way of making sure that the sex lasts long enough for copulation to finish before the female kills him. And it begins, as all good mating does, with a somersault, Max.
Nice. Yeah.
The male redback spider somersaults the back of his body, the abdomen.
John Wick style.
Into the fangs of the female.
Oh, he's like, gotcha first.
Yeah, because she's going to eat him no matter what. So he forces her to bite the part of his body that will lead to the slowest death.
Nice.
Sneaky.
Tactically sacrificing himself to extend the mating process. To make it last even longer, the male also constricts his abdomen before somersaulting into the female's fangs, which then delays that process even more. After somersaulting, as the female begins to inject digestive juices into the male's abdomen, they connect palps and the male's sperm is deposited. And then it does end up with the female usually eating the male.
Why not? He's dead then.
Yeah. And thanks to a new study published today, we now know a bit more about how this behavior evolved. This comes to us from German researchers led out of the University of Hamburg. Do I have a QS ranking?
50. There you go.
86.
222.
Oh, very close, Issy. 209.
Wow. On fire.
They compared the Australian redback spider, which is officially called the Australian widow spider, to the very closely related species in Aotearoa, the katipo. Katipo. It's actually Aotearoa's only native venomous spider.
Which will be news to my mother. When we moved here, she was very upset about spiders.
And it's very similar. It's very
we don't
similar
have
to
these
our
back
redbacks.
home. Yeah.
Back we do.
Definitely do. They look very similar. One of the key differences, though, is that the Kiwi males don't somersault sacrifice themselves onto the females during mating.
They just accept
They do the
death
haka.
like they should.
They do the haka.
Well, yes, they do.
That's crazy, man.
They just accept death. Peter's right. And so the females have this sort of upper hand in the evolutionary process there because they're able to accept sperm from two males more often. And so the New Zealand Department of Conservation shipped these German scientists wild redback egg sacs.
Happy to be rid of them.
Whoa.
To be rid of them.
Like my mum.
Can you imagine handling
Any tariffs on there or
without
what?
spiders?
Any tariffs?
Not to Germany, I think. I think the EU is very open to redback spider egg sacs coming in
You
from New
heard
Zealand.
it here first, guys. Send the EU spider eggs.
And then what these German scientists did was crossbreed the two species together. They're apparently closely enough related that you can still crossbreed them and get hybrid offspring.
That's quite rare.
They do specify that it's quite a low fertility success rate, and it's the hybrid offspring probably aren't super evolutionary fit. But they can get hybrids. So you can get the same out of like a lion and a tiger. You can get a hybrid liger if you combine them in the same way. So they then also mated 49 of the hybrid male redbacks back with females of the original species to see what they do. If you combine
will
the
they
DNA,
somersault or not?
will the hybrid do the somersault or not? Exactly. And what they found is about half of the offspring sacrifice themselves back into the female's fat, which they say implies that it has a genetic basis, this behavior.
Well, yeah.
Nature versus nurture. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but so it's embedded on the X chromosome. So we have in the sex chromosomes as humans, it's XY for males, XX for females usually. And then in spiders, they have 2 different types of X chromosomes. So the male has 1 of each, and I think the female has a pair.
Oh, it's a similar thing.
So a similar thing, and what they're saying is because of this 50% success rate, it's classic what you call Mendelian genetics. If you've done it in biology, you learn about Mendel and his peas and the different flower colours.
You make a table and then you figure out if someone has blue eyes.
So because it's about 50%. Oh, hello. They're saying it's
Tony from Granada.
Thank you, Tony. They're saying it's a genetic thing, probably based on the X chromosomes, and that's where that behaviour's come from. And it's so our male redback spiders are particularly kinky because of it's just hardwired into them. It's in their DNA. That's what I got for you, Max.
And we had Gavin from Beachmere as well, so job done. Thanks for subscribing. If you want to subscribe, go to the website at 4ZZZ.org.au/support, or you can just text in and annoy us if you want to on 0420 626 733. Why are you laughing, Peter?
I was just thinking that people could tell us whether they somersault frequently and whether that's...
Does that help prolong the process?
See, if you subscribe, we've got a variety of prizes, which includes not a redback.
Absolutely. We will not send you redback eggs.
That's right.
And you could somersault when you subscribe to 4ZZZ.
Yeah. Gabe has a lot of penis facts in his brain, just generally.
That's going to be another little...
Another sting for the show.
Sting for the show. There we go.
All right. Now, the good thing is we may not have Max, we may not have Gabe, but we do have penis facts.
Triple Z. We want to appeal to your senses.
You tune into 4ZZZ, and the show's No Idea with me, Max. We got Issy, we got Peter, we got Gabriel, and we got part 3 of this. I'm going to talk about Barbie, specifically the doll, not the movie.
Oh, again. Okay. This again. Max is always talking about Barbie.
It's been around since 1959, but for decades, researchers have pointed out something uncomfortable. Her body proportions were never close to those of a real woman.
Yes, they're quite odd.
A new study out of the University of New South Wales in Australia. QS ranking, please.
Oh, no, it just changed, didn't it?
On.
Aren't they number 1 in Australia? Like
20.
Yeah, close,
No, I thought 19 was years ago.
No, 9.
Was it 18?
Maybe I'm wrong. I just used Gemini to find that, so...
No, you did not.
Nice.
What did Gemini tell you, Max?
Yes, not to listen to Gabe.
What did it say?
It said don't listen to Gabe. 19.
It is 19.
Yeah.
Got something right.
Anyway, the researchers have measured the latest Barb and Ken dolls to find out if they are more realistic now. Researchers Sarah Grafenauer, Belinda Jury and Kevin Norton went back to basics using the same measuring techniques from a landmark study back in 1996. They took calipers and tape measures to 5 current fashionista Barbies. So if you're up with your fashionista Barbies, you got curvy, you got petite, you got tall, and then they also compared it with standard models and the latest Malibu Ken.
Wait, the fashion Barbies are called curvy and tall?
Yeah, tall and petite.
Oh, odd to me that they put that on the box. It would just be Barbie.
They measured their necks, chests, waists, hips, thighs, calves, and maybe the mounds, and then scaled to comparable heights of real young adults. So has Big Toy managed to fix the perceived problem of body perception with Barbie? The short answer is mostly yes. Compared to the original 1959 Barbie, today's dolls are dramatically closer to human proportions. You got your waist to hip measurement, you got your chest to waist ratios. Two of the most talked about measurements now fall within the normal range for real young women. The curvy Barbie came out closest to overall average. For those wondering about Ken, Gabe, his body measurements...
Gabe's always thinking about Ken.
His body measurements have moved closer to real men across almost every site.
Were they super far away?
Except for his ankles, which are typically omitted to cut manufacturing costs and maintain stability. It should be noted that even though Ken's...
the biggest issue with the body proportions now in Barbies is Ken's ankle size.
Of course.
Even though his individual measurements have improved, his body proportions are still a little off. Ken's waist has stayed stubbornly narrow relative to his chest and shoulders, so his overall shape still isn't quite true to life, even though the discrete numbers look promising. When it comes to body positivity, the researchers point out Barbie and Ken are still on the slim side compared to current real population averages. However, this is part of a bigger story. Our own bodies, as measured in places like US and Australia, have changed a lot since the 1960s. So even a more realistic doll today is being compared to a moving target. And there's an interesting side note. Past research has shown kids do not always want the more realistic dolls. In an earlier study, girls actually describe
What, you mean Polly Pocket and Bratz aren't realistic?
What do you mean that I'm not approximately 2 centimeters tall?
I can't live under a lily pad? This is
What do
news
you
to me.
mean?
Earlier research was presented with a 5-foot doll or a small one.
What do you mean? I can't unclip my hair and keep my fingers in circular. I can't be yellow.
Anyway, to describe curvy Barbie as a bit big and chubby, and gravitated towards the thinner, tall Barbie instead. So there you go.
I also wanted to clarify.
Children described her as chubby.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
I know. So we've got a bit of weight.
Seems like I've got some bigger problems.
Yeah, I've got some bigger fish to fry there.
I'm still in shock, Max, because I checked this. They do call them, amongst other names, there's curvy, tall, petite, and standard are part of the official names.
Yeah.
Standard.
It's not like that's their first name. It's just like the product name is like curvy with brown hair.
I'm also seeing another option, which is doll and then the number. So it's like 245, and then they describe her as that.
Yes.
Or if a lot of these are a lot more inclusive as well. So it will just say like autistic Barbie or Barbie with type 1 diabetes. So very interesting way of labeling these dolls as well. Not just the traditional like name as well is a common one where it's like Chelsea or
But I guess because at least because they're using the standard terms, this research could separate them into those different categories and do different comparisons of body dimensions and things.
Interesting.
Owen texted in. He wants to know which one of us most is like one of the Barbie dolls or Ken. I'm pretty close to Ken, I reckon. What do you reckon, Gabe?
You are Kenough.
You are Kenough. Remember...
Don't let the world pass you by. Seize the day and support independent media by subscribing to 4ZZZ at 4ZZZ.org.au/support.
We got a text in from Salty as well, who does a bit of, was it DPS, the deep brain stimulation, which Peter brought up during their science article. But now it's time. Did I say who we are? We're 4ZZZ. This show's no idea.
It's also Radiothon, Max.
It is Radiothon. Get onto the website. I want to hear this. Sample it. I want to hear a bit more of that during the show.
Bonus points if you can time it as well. Yeah. Preferably when Max is speaking.
We're going to hear from our friendly neighbourhood, a marine scientist, and you all know what that means.
Oh, we got a sub.
Oh.
Nice.
Thank God someone's working on this. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Fish are friends, not food.
Great start. Gabe, what does a cat say?
Yeah.
Max, what does a chicken say?
Cluck, cluck.
And Issy, what does a shark say? It's good that we started this with whales because it is relevant. Max, how do humpback whales eat?
Well, before that, can I just say that thank you, Mark, from the cooler?
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
How do humpbacks eat?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Without utensils, can I say what they don't use?
Nope, that's a good start.
Would they just open their mouths?
Yeah, don't they just filter out some krill and job done?
That is close enough. I'll take it, Max. That is it. So they basically their lower jaw acts like the scoop. If you've seen it, I haven't actually even seen it in person, but if you've seen it in videos, you'll see just how big that lower jaw can expand.
Like a pelican.
Kind of like a pelican. Yeah, similar to a pelican. They scoop up large amounts of water that's filled with prey of some kind, and then they push the water out of their mouth through these large baleen plates, which they have instead of teeth. They kind of look like a mustache, which is a part of their scientific name. So imagine like a big amount of hair.
It's in Nemo.
Yes, I was just thinking
Dory
that.
get stuck in a whale and then get trapped against the
because they
baleen.
would get stuck because that's what That's the size of fish that they can sometimes eat. So that is the point, is they get stuck, but the water goes past. So the prey remains. Yay, that's how they eat. And they usually do this at the sea surface or through the water column. It's where you get those amazing videos of them just lunging out of the sea with huge, like, mouths agape, getting huge amounts of water. But in 1995, some researchers were looking at humpback faces and came up with a really wild theory that humpbacks feed on the sea floor. Sometimes.
They were looking at their faces.
At their faces.
They have a little bit of a mustache of like sand on from where they were shoving their face in the floor.
Pretty close. They
You might want to get that.
Oh, you've got sand stuck in your teeth. That's so awkward. No, they had abrasions and scarring around their face, on their rostrum and their mandible, which they thought could only happen if they were rubbing it against the sea floor at, relatively high velocity. Also, the main thing that really helped this theory along was that the main prey of those humpbacks they knew from like stomach contents were sand lance. And sand lance, as the name may imply, are like the sand. They're small, like 8 to 48 centimeter fish. They school, but they school very close to the bottom of this, like right close to the seabed. And then they're known to bury themselves in the sand, and then they do this really weird little behavior that if something big comes hovering over them while they're buried, they will quickly jump up, unbury themselves, and then bury themselves somewhere else. So essentially, I think it would be a good thing to avoid things like rays that have that electro ability to sense under the sand if you can jump.
So that it doesn't land on top of you.
Yeah, you don't jump, it doesn't land on top of you, so you move around. So it's a good strategy for that thing. What it isn't a great strategy for is this. Is the idea that maybe a humpback might get
the bulldozer of the sea, as it were.
Well, we're going to get into exactly how they do this, because it may not be what you're imagining. This remained a theory for nearly 20 years. It was just something that people thought about. And then in 2014, other researchers used these tags that they put on humpbacks to prove it. These tags only had motion and acoustic properties, so they could hear and then they could see what sort of direction the whale was. And they saw that the whales rolled about 80 to 120 degrees, facing sort of head down. So imagine, it's actually really hard to explain what that would look like. It's sort of like when you're starting to dive, but you're doing it on your side. So like a salmon swimming upstream, sort of on their side, but diving a bit. Just, on the side like that. And they were very, very close to the seabed. And sometimes they weren't alone. They would see multiple doing it at the same time in the same area. So that's where our researchers this time at Stanford University, QS ranking please.
6.
5.
3.
Equal second this year.
They were 6th, Max.
Were they?
And they had a big jump, and then they solidified it this year.
Equal second with?
Harvard?
Imperial College London.
Nice.
So they wanted to get a closer look. So they did a very similar suction cup tag, which had that same motion tracking, pitch, roll, depth, heading, compass directions, all of that nonsense, but also video, which is kind of great because it means we can just see what they're doing. So one of the best things that I found in this paper is that the researchers made an animation of what this looks like with animated whales.
Right.
Incredible.
Okay.
So essentially, they'll form an alliance with 1 to 3 other whales. Then they dive down, they glide along the bottom, rolling onto their side, and then you see their friends. They meet their friends, and they sort of are approaching head to head. So they're all facing each other.
That's cool.
And they meet like a star formation with their heads in the middle, and they move closer and closer and closer until their snouts almost touch, and then in near unison they open their mouths to capture the sand lancers.
That they've all driven...
Just herded them in. Nice.
So I think this has to do with the sand lancers' ability to jump. So their strategy as the sand lance is to jump and move to somewhere else. But if there's whales coming at you from all directions, you've got very limited places
you
to
just
move
jump into one of their mouths.
Exactly.
The hungry hippos, hungry whales under the water with sand lancers.
It looks very similar to that actually, except on their sides. And the cool thing is they, like when I say near unison, they open their mouths. Very near unison. They, on average, only 3.7 seconds away from each other as the timing of them opening their mouths, which they're pretty far away. Like they're whales. It's not super close. I don't even know if they can really see each other doing this. It's just it's a timing thing. It's a nuance. It's a practice. So In 87 out of 110 benthic hunting events, they found that they were working in groups. So they're not always in groups. Sometimes they do this on their own, but they don't like to. They vastly prefer to do it with their friends. And one of the interesting things with this study is that actually most of their observations came from tags on only 3 individuals. So I think it was like 60% or something was from these 3 whales called Wonderland, Bleed, and Bombay. And they were sort of like a team. They would do it together all the time, or they had known partners and known teams that they would do. And the funny thing they saw with these 3 whales is that they kept the same positions every time. So it's not just... So first of all, like I said, it was a star formation. Usually it was... so if I'm one of the whales, the other whales will be at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. But if I was the whale at 1 o'clock, I'm always at 1 o'clock. If I'm the whale who's at 11 o'clock, I prefer to be at 11 o'clock. It's just like... To me, it's like a football team executing a corner. Yep. It's like if I do the corner kick, I'm doing the corner kick every time. It's a set piece. They know what they're doing. They're not changing the game plan. They do it every time. And what the researchers were really looking at here, because we knew they did this behaviour, we kind of had an idea that they did it together. But what they wanted to prove is that this is a very advanced hunting technique, a type of cooperative hunting. So there's actually 4 levels of cooperative hunting. So the first one is just similarity, which is where all of the individuals will concentrate similar actions on the same prey, but they don't really coordinate in any space or time. They're just sort of doing it.
So maybe like seabirds diving into a big school of fish.
Sort of. But yeah, 2 will always act simultaneously. It just doesn't really seem planned or... They won't change their actions. Then there's synchrony, which is where each hunter concentrates similar actions on the same prey and tries to relate in time to each other's actions. So that if in your bird diving idea, this would be as if the birds made sure they dove at the exact same time.
Yeah, okay.
So they may begin this at the same time or adjust their speed to remain in time. Then we have coordination. So this is where they concentrate similar actions on the same prey and try to relate in time and space. So they'll also adjust their position to make sure their positioning is correct. And then we have the top level, which is collaboration. So this is where hunters will perform different complementary actions, all directed towards the same prey. And one of the things that they note about this is that they tend to focus more on each other than the prey necessarily. So if your mate's out of sync, you'll care about that more than the prey necessarily being in the wrong space. There's lots of things that you could do here. So this is like encirclement, escape weight. One of the famous examples of this for humpbacks is bubble feeding. We've talked about that before, where they blow bubbles in a circle and they create a net. And they usually do that as a team together. They have these different roles and they're all trying to encircle the prey. But this is obviously different to bubble feeding. This is on the ground, but it has really similar levels of cooperation and strategy. By taking those positions, they spook the lance enough to get out of the sand, but only enough for them to realise that there is now nowhere to run. There are 3 giant whale mouths approaching them. The researchers also argue that just because the humpbacks don't have different jobs, that doesn't mean it's not collaboration, that highest level of hunting coordination, because they don't need to. There's no reason to do that in this scenario. And the timing and synchronicity of this is so impressive and so coordinated and managed and practiced that it just seems... It clearly is that collaboration, and they're really working on that hunting technique. The last thing, though, that they threw in really close to the end of the paper here that I almost missed was that apparently this isn't super successful. They don't actually get that much prey out of this.
Oh.
Which I thought was a really interesting point, because it sounds like they've put a lot of time and effort into perfecting this technique of getting them out of the sand. They also, that's another thing, in the 2014 one with the acoustic tags, they found out that they make a special call to each other, and it's only done when they're on the seafloor and around others. So they were like, we think that when they can't see each other, they'll call to each other to coordinate the movement. So it clearly is coordinated and carefully practiced, but apparently all that effort is not for much reward. The researchers did posit that maybe it's because there was boat activity in the area and they don't want to feed at the surface, or maybe the surface prey isn't as plentiful as it once has been, so maybe they're resorting to these methods. But it's just good to know that they do it and they can do it, and
maybe
it's cool to see it.
Sand lancers or whatever they're called just taste great.
Maybe they taste amazing.
True.
You know, we do
or have
crazy
weird
things.
nutrients or whoever.
Yeah, there's lots of different reasons they could be doing it. What is important is that it is incredibly complex.
Well, what about getting that octopus down to lead the pack? That'd be better, wouldn't it?
That was with fish, but yeah. I don't know if an octopus would want to lead a bunch of humpbacks. They're pretty shy.
Fair enough.
4ZZ's premiere motorsports show with a slice of science attached.
Oh.
No idea. on Wednesdays.
Single press overtake, stay in scenario 7.
If you push me off the track, I think you have to leave a space. All the time you have to leave a space.
Come on. Get it, Kilo. Get it. Woo. Yeah, you don't need to tell me that.
Max, we're in this together, mate. Head down. Come on.
Yes! Great job, guys. That was hard work. Oh, that was hard work.
You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is the MotoRap segment on No Idea, your weekly dose of science with me, Max. We've got Maximillian, we've got Issy, we've got Gabe. We're talking F1. Not much to talk about. They're in the summer break at the moment. But Honda has come out and said they've got an upgrade ready to go for Aston Martin. And they're calling it Spec 2. How good's that? The once dominant power unit manufacturer has been derided of late by critics and Aston Martin themselves after their poor 2026 performance. So let's
shaking the batteries. Shaking the batteries.
That's why I said shake off the haters.
and I just feel like the whole exercise is like, if you feel like you may be stuffing up at work or made a mistake, didn't really communicate something right, just know that there's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of negotiations and supply and whatever between Honda and Aston Martin seem to just fall down over really, really shoddy communication over what was needed and when, and just like this standard,
and who was available.
Who was available, who's on staff, what sort of capacity, what sort of deadlines, just like the most basic workplace issue.
Because that was the discussion when we went, Gabe, to Melbourne, and we were sitting in press conferences, and the vibration issue that they were coming to. So starting off really strong to the season with potential nerve damage for both of their drivers. So this was the dominant conversation of just being like, we've picked up with Honda. No idea what was going on. So this tumultuous on-again, off-again relationship between Aston Martin and just crazy.
Because moving on from the Red Bull days where Honda used to be like a really good power unit, a lot of the team just went to build solar panels and stuff for Honda. They forgot about their F1 engine.
And N.E.U.SLee didn't know about this.
No.
N.E.U.SLee finds this out in like December of last year.
Yeah.
Going.
Because I think
you want a solar panel on your car, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, Max.
But hopefully they can turn it around. Because of course, they've been in this position before. I mean, if we think about 2016, 2017, they were in a really bad spot, Honda, when they were powering McLaren. So I think the organisation has the ability to turn it around, and I think let's be honest, Alonso deserves the 33rd win of his career. So
cool. The and one of the F1 drivers that comes up quite often on the show is the unluckiest driver, George Russell, who he had the most race laps in 2025. So that car was reliable back then. Didn't go on to win the World Championship. As we know, Lando won that. But this year, not such a good story. But there is a bright note that's just been announced. He is engaged. So
it's a long-term partner, Carmen.
Congratulations, George. Probably won't win the World Championship this year, but that's a win, isn't it, when you think about it? Women in motorsport, let's hear it up.
Yeah, we've got former F1 Academy championship contender Maya Wegg has described 2026 as the toughest year of her career. With a social media post shared, the driver opened up about the harsh realities of the motorsport industry. Her current difficulties follow a successful 2025 F1 Academy campaign, resulted in 3 victories and 9 podium appearances. She said, I don't really know how to write this. I've been trying to show you the positives all season, but the truth is it's the toughest year of my career so far. 1 year ago, I was fighting for a championship, taking wins and standing on the podium almost every weekend. I never thought that even a year later I'd be in this position. Just a reminder, she missed out on the 2025 title to Dorian Pan. Whilst it is the champion of the series is awarded a fully funded race seat in another single-seated championship, she was given the opportunity to test a Ferrari 296 GT3 with AF Course, which is also funded by F1 Academy. There was a great plan going into this season. Shortly before it started, it all fell apart with reasons out of my control. By then, it was late. It was very late to put anything else together, and on my own, it's been very difficult to get any racing at all, which I think is quite interesting because the girls only have 2 years to show what they can do at an F1 Academy. So what happens afterwards?
She does have age on her side, though. She's only 22 years old.
She is only 22, but especially in the world of F1, where you've got 19-year-olds racing in Formula One, it seems like age, it really does matter. And I think it's fantastic that she's shed a light on this, because unlike Dorian Pan or Abby Pulling as well, who has gone off to do other things and just become like a peripheral actor within the Formula One space, if you really can't get it, then everyone kind of, you'll fall to the side. So I can imagine that would be quite tough, going from championships to now not sure where you're going. So very interesting. I think we're still in the summer break, still some testing going on for the women, so we'll be back when F1's back.
Cool. MotoGP, and I was wrong last week. Imagine that. Ducati, I said Ducati's going to kill it.
First for everything.
And once again, Aprilia showed their dominance. Last weekend's UK MotoGP was won by Spaniard Raul Fernandez, there you go, riding for Trackhouse. And then fellow Spaniard Jorge.
You know what really would be... I was just going to say, what would be a real first, though, would be you getting a Spanish name correct.
Well, I got Jorge, right? Jorge Martin. True, you did. He's called the Martinator. He came in second, and an Italian Marco Bezzecchi was third, also on Aprilia. So it was an Aprilia lockout on the podium. The highest placed Ducati was written by Alex Marquez, also a Spaniard, who could only manage fourth. And the next race will be in Spain, no less. So that'd be interesting to see if Ducati can get up. NASCAR also happened on the weekend.
Gotta do it.
There we go.
Nice.
Alex
describing
from Paddington. Nice. Shane Van Gisbergen raced in Iowa on the weekend. He managed to get his NASCAR number 97 car home in 30th position after spinning early in the race, and he managed to secure 7 points, so he stays within the top 16, which you have to be to get into the series finals, which is like 10 races at the end of the year, which they call the Chase, and it starts in mid-September. So we're looking forward to that, because he is sort of honorary Australian, isn't he? Even though he's Kiwi, he was a supercar champion a few times. So yeah, that earns him the right to be spoken about on this show. Any more to be spoken about on MotoRap?
We're not allowed to talk about any other Kiwi.
There's not much coming up this weekend, man. World of the big racing leagues we follow, but there is IndyCar, Formula E, and NASCAR if you need a fix of racing, and then MotoGP and SailGP and the supercars pick up the weekend after that, and then Formula One's back from its break at the end of the month.
True. And if you want to subscribe, because it is Radiothon, get onto the website 4ZZZ.org.au/support, or ring Stephen downstairs on 3252 1555 to subscribe. We're going to go into another segment. I'm going to play a song. This is fairly pertinent. The song's called Wanna Cry, which was a virus back in the day, by Ninajirachi.
And Porter Robinson.
Yeah.
I got to see this live when I watched Ninajirachi play at the Princess Theatre.
Cool.
And it's, get ready.
Let's do it.
I can't talk about the song. He's cut me off. Because if I talk about it now, then it doesn't work with the podcast, because they have to cut this bit out about the
Max!
Don't you think I know that?
Right of reply.
You're making more work for the poor fella.
We'll let Toby sort it out.
What a legend, Toby. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sure. You tune into 4ZZZ, and the show's No Idea, your weekly dose of science with me, Max. We've got Maximillian, we've got Issy, we've got Gabe, we've got Peta. We just got to thank Julian from West End for subscribing during the song. And we did Alex from Paddington, so job done. Just tell us a bit about her music.
Oh, Ninajirachi. Yeah, I was lucky enough, as I said, to catch her at the Princess Theatre a few weeks ago. She's fantastic, probably one of the best Australian artists to come out recently. She's from the Central Coast of New South Wales, and she said that growing up in a very kind of rural town meant that she really spent a lot of time on the internet and learning her own kind of way of making music, whether it was downloading Ableton, pirating that, and then turning that into something completely different. But
that's great.
She's really blown up recently with her album album, I Love My Computer, which is a debut, and it was released last year, and it's just excelled her into the public mainstream. She went to Coachella. I bought the tickets way back in December before she even went to Coachella, and it's been really lovely seeing her be a lot more like one of the biggest artists to come out of Australia. But she has a great theme to all of her music, which is a lot of tech, whether it's... Thank you.
That's
whether
it's Nick from Carney's Creek.
Thank you, Nick. Whether it's one of the main songs, F My Computer, or another song called C-Rack, which is named after the computer of the same name, which was Australia's first digital computer to create electronic music on its own. So she has these great themes that throughout each album, and excited to see what continues to be produced, including Wanna Cry, which I think we're talking about as well.
We are. Hit us up, Maxie.
Yeah. Not the song, but the actual virus it's named after, or more correctly, a worm, because it spreads by itself. And it managed to infect about, we want to say 300,000 machines across 150 countries in under a week. So the exploit underneath this that allowed this to happen is sort of, what drive do you guys have mounted on your computer there at Zed? Is it like a Z drive?
Yeah. We've got two shared drives that we look at for our songs and for our community announcements.
And that's exactly what this worm exploits. It was the old SMB v1 protocol that's used for those network drives, which is now found to be very insecure for this and other reasons. There was an exploit discovered by the United States National Security Agency that was to do with the fact that, so there's OS2, which, I mean, you could probably talk to that better than I can.
Just think of it like early Windows, but IBM based. Yeah, not Microsoft.
It was Windows before Windows. And Bill Gates had different ideas and decided, okay, we're going to build Windows without IBM's involvement.
Yeah.
But they used a lot of the same specifications between the two operating systems, except for a few weird small different changes, including in this protocol for attribute lists. So if you're on an OS2 thing, you have what's called a 32-bit integer, which it's just, everyone says, okay, we've got a 32-bit processor, whatever. It's just a number of a certain size. And then on the Win32 side, the Windows side, they decided to make this particular number 16 bits instead. And the idea being that there are two parts of the code that check this number. One part keeps it as the full-size 32-bit. The other truncates it to 16-bit. Which basically means, like, imagine you write down a number on a piece of paper, and then you say, and it ends in a bunch of zeros. So, but it's really large, and then you flip your pencil 180 degrees around, and you erase all the numbers except those zeros that you got at the end. So, effectively, one branch of the code, which is responsible for checking what this data is, just thinks, there's nothing to check, we're good.
Because it's all zeros, yeah.
Because it's all zeros. The other part of the number keeps it as this full 32-bit integer, and takes what is effectively a program and copies it into memory somewhere that then it's about to be executed by the operating system at kernel level, and job done. There's your self-replicating worm that has now taken over your computer and can spread to the next one and the next one and the next one.
And for those wondering what kernel level means, it's like jailbreaking your iPhone, basically. So you got full control. You can sideload, do whatever you want.
Yeah. And, the NSA's naming department had a lot of fun with, IBM being called Big Blue and all. They called this exploit Eternal Blue. Now, of course, this was not released by the NSA. It was leaked by a group called the Shadow Brokers, which, again, all these names are fantastic. But they eventually, this makes its way. The belief is that it came out of North Korea, this virus, in the end. Microsoft had released a patch, of course, by this point, but it still had massive damage. We got really lucky in Australia, in large part because it was a weekend. But two, because of this bloke named Marcus Hutchins over in the...
Just people weren't logged into the web. That's awesome.
We were all asleep, for one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, so his handle online was Malware Tech, and he was 22 at the time. And he got a copy of it, started to analyze it, and found this domain name registered in there. He found a domain name in the code itself. So, blah, 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 .com. And it wasn't registered. So the first thing his instinct was, okay, I'm just going to quickly go on to GoDaddy or whatever, paid the $10, registered this domain, because he was thinking that it's what's called command and control. So command and control is what allows you to remotely control your worm or virus or whatever you've put out there as an exploit on computers, and allows you to do nefarious things with it. He was hoping that would give him at least an idea of how far the virus had spread, etc. Turns out it was actually an off switch. If this domain name resolved, it immediately turned off this worm.
Yeah, that's how they sandboxed
it.
Yeah,
exactly, right? So when you do malware analysis, you put it into what's like called a virtual machine. And what typically, if you set it up naively, is you'll have whatever .com, whatever, it will actually resolve, because the idea is you want to analyze the network traffic. So the idea is, if it's resolving, and we know it is a website that's not meant to exist, someone's onto us. Quick hide, let's turn everything off and make it harder for us to analyze
It's not just a kill switch, it's that they've found the kill switch and we should cut ties.
Exactly. Well, it's sort of like, we just know this is clearly not a real computer.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, and there are better ways to do it. And at the end of the day, the fact that it was sort of poorly engineered is part of the reason that, it could have been a lot worse. So we're very thankful for that. Very thankful for what he did, especially because we barely got touched in Australia. The actual only major happened here was 55 Victorian speed and red light cameras became infected some months after this. So this all took place 12 to 14th of May was the big part of it back in 2017. And then in June 2017, a contractor plugged their USB device into a computer on that speed and red light camera network in Victoria, and they had to throw out thousands and thousands of fines.
Cool. So there's hope for you yet, Gabe.
How do we start it up again?
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Cool.
I think we've covered everything. But it's just really interesting that, I don't know, it was a very big flashback, because I do still remember that morning waking up going, oh no, we've got to check in with all these people. But no, it was all fine. We're relatively untouched.
Cool.
And just an amazing concept for a song.
Going back to the MotoRap, and I had Pete text in, says that I pronounce Jorge correctly for George.
Nice.
But I didn't pronounce his surname Martin properly. It's Martin. So he said, so close.
Still
That's
none
a pass.
from 12.
For this year's Radiothon, 4ZZZ received prizes from the following wonderful sponsors. The Tivoli and Princess Golden Ticket.
Original art from Anthony Gigalin Art Studio.
Netherworld, a Lowboy 80s arcade machine and prize pack.
Big Sound, solo and band passes.
The Bright Side, double pass to any summer show.
The Fortitude Musical, double pass to any show.
The Triffid, a double pass to any show.
Frizzfest, a huge night at the Parklands, golden tickets.
West End Electric, passes to Blanc de Blanc.
Blind Boy Brewing, a year of beer.
TTB Fitness, get fit with your own personal trainer.
Woods Music, an acoustic guitar and banjo.
Downs Shoes, the Work Boots pack.
Berserk Clothing, bedroom decorator prize pack.
Funky Foods, 12 weeks of free veggies.
Dave's Wine Revival, a wine mixing course.
Love and Toe Beans, a wellness visit for your pet.
Crumpler, designer backpack.
The Print Cowboy, band and business printing packs.
ASACC, accounting services for artists.
Fire Studios, free rehearsal time.
Thrill House Tattoo, Fat Tat Voucher.
Pedal Empire, high shred room, overdrive pedal and merchandise.
Rocking Horse Records, a $400 spree.
And Valve Records and Z51 are bringing a huge album label pack. Be in it to win it.
Subscribe at 4ZZZ.org.au/support to enter.
And keep 4ZZZ fiercely independent.
You're tuning to 4ZZZ, and the show is No Idea with me, Max. We've got Issy, we've got Gabe, we've got Peta, we've got Radiothon. Go to the website, subscribe.
I feel like it's part of our duty as the science show, every Radiothon, because it's such a massive and amazing pack of prizes that the team at 4ZZZ puts together, that you can go into the draw to win during the Radiothon period, and amazing donations from the businesses and people behind it for these prizes. But I feel like it's part of our duty to sort of talk through like the odds, the statistics of followers,
okay.
because it's you pick one when you subscribe. I'm currently sitting on the subscribe thing saying what prize you want to go into the draw for.
I used to do this in raffles.
And it's like this balance of which ones do you want the most and which ones you think are going to have the highest odds because to get, because some of them get a huge amount of people and then the others maybe you better get a better shot at. So Issy, Peter, you've got the list in front of you. Do you want to go through some of the options of what you can go to the running to win? Balance out. Let's what do we think? What should I go for? I've got a list in front of me. I don't know what to pick.
Got a list in front of you. Personally, I'm going to be going for the Crumpler 3 pack, which has 3 of Crumpler's fantastic accessories with a backpack, a messenger bag, and a wallet. That is calling my name. There's also some fantastic art on offer by Anthony Jiggling, which looks really cool, fun. I mean, I like the colours. What can you say about art except that it looks very artsy and very cool and professional?
No one's ever thought of anything more to say about art beyond that, really. That's what they say. A picture tells a couple words.
Yeah.
It is the science show after all.
I'm
Izzy,
so
what you
caught between like 3, honestly, because they're so strong. I've just moved out, so the Funky Food grocery pack with 3 months of weekly veggies, mate. That's $1 million worth to a uni student.
That'll bring you up to Christmas.
Yeah. That will bring me up to Christmas. Or do I
vitamins.
go super indulgent Berserk clothing prize pack, $100 gift voucher with all sorts of like bedding, whatever else, like. But finally, I think it will be the Thrill House tattoo voucher, $500. That's a few tattoos. So maybe that.
I always get enticed by what I'm seeing on my screen now, which is the option to click the Netherworld arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
True.
And you start dreaming of having one of those arcade cabinets.
Percentage of winning? Yeah. I don't know.
This is the thing. I go high every year. I don't know about it.
You also
Never won once.
You also get $100 bar tab as well with that. Like, it's not just one thing, mate.
Okay.
It's jam-packed.
To break the
But then
machine.
there's the golden tickets. They're also the ones that a lot of people look for straight away. The TIV Princess Theatre golden ticket, and then like double passes to Strut and Fret West End. There's so many tickets as well that I feel like those draw cards that people go for. Yeah,
and so if you want to subscribe, go to the website at 4zzz.org.au/support. If you're under 18, it's $25. If you're a pet, if you want to subscribe your pet, $25. Basic or concession, $40. A full subscription annually is only $80. And you run the numbers, you divide 52 into that. It's less than $2 a week. To get a full subscription at 4ZZZ. And we sort of ran the numbers of how much this show is to produce.
Oh, yes. Now, I want you all to keep in mind, I didn't do general maths in year 12, so if these numbers are incorrect, just a heads up. So,
Not one of us could possibly fix that. That's definitely true.
Now, 712 episodes, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
2-hour-long show, correct?
Yes.
For most of the time.
It used to be 3 hours back in the day, so yeah.
And then it used to be 3 hours. Okay, yeah.
That equates.
Average out.
So, $90 for every hour of radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm sitting on absolute minimum is $128,000, $160.
There you go.
Cost of keeping the mics
cost of that's
for this show.
Which I have then calculated how many subs we would need in order to fuel that. So that is 1,602 full subs. 915.4 passionate subs. So 0.6 someone's just going to have to it's an arm it's just an arm.
Okay.
Just an arm.
256 super subs, that's the $500 one. Or 5,126 pet subs, which is a lot of pets.
A lot of pets.
And that's also the same tier. It's the same cost for an under 18, so you can split it. Half of them be pets and half of them be teenagers.
Job done.
So, $90
demographic
to keep us on air every hour. So if you can contribute, whether you've listened for a full hour or you've just tuning in for the first time, 4ZZZ.org.au/support to help us out.
You get your $2 worth. Job done. Any more to add?
No, I'm going to go with the Netherworld arcade cabinet.
Nice.
After all that.
Nice.
Do you want a weird science thing for your article, Izzy? Or?
Well, it's not exactly weird, but chuck it in. It is
chuck
science.
It in? Okay. Cool.
This is your sign this public holiday to eat more Aussie chocolate. And that is coming from the big dogs at the University of Queensland QS ranking.
the 40 now, aren't they?
42 again?
Yeah, 42. Yeah, I think it is.
Unique Queens.
42.
42.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Researchers have worked with growers of cacao in far north Queensland and found that the cacao fermentation process can have a bigger influence on the flavour of chocolate than the cacao tree itself. Let's get into it. Now, just a little reminder of the chocolate making process in case you haven't been aware of it.
Beans.
Yes.
Split apart, fermented, roasted, mashed, added sugar, chocolate.
Pretty close. Grown, harvested manually, typically.
I forgot that bit.
Fermentation, sun-dried.
Little horse and cart stuff going
Little
on
horse,
there.
yeah. Sun-dried and then roasted, then either made into a powder or, mashed up, add sugar, boom, you're done. Scientists compared the aroma, flavor, and composition of crushed cacao beans, aka nibs, from areas like
a hard job.
Fishery Falls, Mount Etna, and Shannonville, which, to put you on the map, it's between about Glasgow. Gladstone.
It's really far away.
So I got chocolate on my mind.
Census,
I am still thinking about the census, which is between, oh my God, between Gladstone and Port Douglas. So we're going far north Queensland. Food chemist Marzil Becker noted that they had different types of cacao trees, and we thought that would have a big impact on the flavour, but the tree's genotype had a much smaller role to play than the fermentation process itself. This can be linked to post-harvest conditions like a drying location, but also a high amount of uncharacterised microbial communities, which are essential for the fermentation process. So these kind of
sense.
Yeah,
You're
little.
not going to have wine and be like, oh, well, that tastes like that one grape, but not like that grape.
Yeah.
Grapes and wine taste very different, so it makes sense that cacao and chocolate.
So this kind of little microbiome can govern the formation of the aroma active compounds, which says what it says on the tin. It's all that kind of the smell, the taste, all those sensory characteristics. That comes out during the roasting process, so it can create a richer aroma or even a deeper flavour. This natural fermentation process, they found nothing was really introduced to the process, but it created a different taste, which can give more control to farmers to create a unique flavour profile and give Australia a bit of an edge in a very dominant chocolate environment. So looking at this almost kind of, not bacterial, but this microflora, they described it, that can give chocolate a little bit, of that deeper aroma. So this is your excuse to crack open some local Aussie chocolate and enjoy those delicious aroma active compounds.
Do they make the bilbies out of Australian chocolate?
I believe so. I'm not too sure, actually. We might need to fact check that.
I believe they have. The bilbies are not made of Australian chocolate.
No, but
I know they've backpedaled a lot of the donation stuff too. I wouldn't
be a
assume
bit
they
sus.
are.
But also Australia, we have some of the largest labour costs as well, because as people may know, most cocoa is grown in West Africa, which is, we normally pay about $30 an hour for our workers in comparison to $30 a month. So it is a premium product, but with fair right use and also maybe even a premium taste. So, this public holiday, crack open some Aussie chocolate, support a local business, and this is your sign to indulge.
This is a special subscriber thanks shout out to Peanut the dog. If you guys didn't know, you can subscribe your pets to 4ZZZ as well, because why should we as humans keep the warm inner glow all to ourselves? Thanks Peanut for subscribing.
Going off here. You're tuning to 4ZZZ and it's Radiothon. The show's No Idea with me, Max. We've got Issy, we've got Gabe, we've got Peta. We've got the light going off.
I conducted a little experiment there for you, Max.
Live experiment.
Yeah.
One of those was mine. I'm not sure which.
Yes.
About 1:50 it took from the pay going through and the thank you message popping up and the light coming on in our studio. So if you're trying to time it, you need to give it a little under
lead
2
time.
minutes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's do it.
I'll turn my own mic on then.
No idea. Sorry. Have you ever thought about doing laundry on the ISS, the International Space Station?
Nope.
Haven't actually.
Genuinely never.
Maybe shake it around in the back.
Due to strict weight limits on cargo, NASA has adopted what I'm calling the Jetstar approach when it comes to carrying on baggage.
Jetstar approach.
Pay for every piece of clothing you own. Jetstar will be okay if you come on naked. Otherwise, it's weighed.
Astronauts are only allowed to take the bare minimum of clothing on board, which fits into just 2 small suitcases. As a result, they sometimes have to wear the same underwear for weeks on end. When the clothing becomes unusable, it is simply loaded into a special module, which is sent to burn up in upper layers of Earth's atmosphere.
It's got to be really unusable before you burn it in the atmosphere.
Cool. So I have a metal straw, but they're just flinging underwear into space to burn up. Sick.
Yeah, astronauts, come on. It's not about the fuel. It's not about the massive amounts of fuel or energy. It's about the underwear that you're burning in space. Knock it off.
So why don't we have washing machines on the International Space Station?
Put them in a bag. Push it around.
According to NASA crew operations instructor Alyssa Hicks, free-floating fluid is extremely dangerous in microgravity. Drops flying uncontrollably through the air could land on sensitive electronic components or get trapped in hard-to-reach compartments of the spacecraft, which would inevitably lead to short circuits or possibly mold growth. But a team of scientists led by aerospace engineer Gabe Zhu from the University of Alabama, they don't have a QS ranking, so don't worry, it's in Huntsville, solved this problem
Love it.
by creating the concept of a laundry gun. The device uses low temperature disinfection
It's
methods.
just a t-shirt cannon loaded with fresh ones.
The gun generates a jet of cold plasma to clean the clothes, and this oxidates the clothes and kills off anything using oxygen.
Seems pretty extreme.
Whoa.
And when will this be coming for home use?
When am I getting the corner store plasma cleaner?
Babe, we need another corner store. We need another plasma cleaner.
That's it. So for personal hygiene on the ISS, NASA promotes targeted wiping using rinseless soap, wet towels, and fluid squeezed from special pouches that rely on surface tension to not float away. Targeted wiping. If you take a phrase out of this show this week, it's targeted wiping.
Is it? Should it be? Is that what we want to end on?
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Oh, it's the golden egg of 4ZZZ.
Community radio, baby.
We got me, Max. We got Issy. We got Peta. We got Gabe. The show is No Idea, the Radiothon special, but not for much longer. Sign us out, Gabriel.
$90 an hour it costs. Just
sorry,
Gabe.
Gabe, I'm so sorry. Max did not put the mic
You're
on.
joking.
We just sat
You know why?
in 30 seconds of silence.
Absolute silence, Max, as I was literally talking about what it takes to keep the mics on.
It's not a Max.
Now,
I'm so
plus
close.
Max
Look.
remembering to do it.
Wrong
All it
fader.
takes
Okay, so
to
cool.
get us
So you've put the
on air.
phone fader up, but not great. Gabe, from the top, please. Sign us out.
From the top, please.
See, you can't get this anywhere else, team. You can't get this.
Amazing. As I was saying, it costs $90 an hour to run this radio station,
told us that
and it
already.
requires Max to turn the microphone on. Now, I can't guarantee the second thing, but if you support 4ZZZ, I can guarantee the first bit, that at least there will be a mic for Max to turn on whenever he feels like we should be switched on. Max, I ran some stats for us quickly from the last 12 months. For the people who have supported us, like what we've done when the mics have been on, what sort of antics we've gotten up to.
I did tell you to calculate the dead air time. I thought it was
Yeah,
interesting.
true.
The dead air time I didn't calculate. I didn't have the audio files for me. I think it's for everyone's benefit if we don't try and tally all of that up. 52 shows, of course, one every Wednesday morning, 2 hours a pop, 104 hours of community-powered science radio. Do you want to have a crack at how many stories we ran? I got some. It kind of depends how we calculate it, but just like a rough estimate.
712. So in the last year.
In the last 12 months, so the last
12 months,
52 shows.
Usually we have
6 stories. So,
times
yeah,
five.
300,
About 6
350.
stories.
About
380.
I got about 420 on my count.
Really?
Nice.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It includes, all the MotoRaps and the space newses.
Oh,
and
I wasn't counting
And it
MotoRap.
includes sometimes, all
Thanks,
that
Peter.
sort of stuff. Across all of us, there were 8 of us all volunteers powering the show. It's I'll go from least appearances to most.
Oh,
I'm
fantastic.
including appearances that only include if we did a rewind, if we weren't there live, but when we sort of dug into the archives and ran one of our stories, I'm including that.
Okay.
Which helped Peter's count quite a lot.
Whoa.
Well, you just missed like 3 more than I did, but you had rewind.
Quite a lot, apparently. Goodness.
But down in 8th, it was work experience Aiden with one appearance.
Yeah.
And then it was Ellie with 4. Maximillian, big jump up to 43.
Nice.
Izzy, 44. Peter and I tied on 49, and then tied for first and second in appearances on this show, getting it going, was Max and Toby, who edits up the podcast. It was 52 each.
Yeah. Perfect.
It was our longest episode was the Christmas episode last year. If you cut out all the music and just go, how long were we yapping for? We were out for about an hour and 18 minutes in that show.
Damn.
Had a lot to say.
And then I broke down just our segments that we talk about the most. Sorry, like the types of science, like which categories of science.
Good. Categories.
Fields of science.
Which one's going to come out on top?
I had some different numbers depending on how you calculate it. Some of them don't fall neatly into boxes. But what came out clearly each time was the top few were always the top few. So the most talked about was biology, which includes marine biology and marine science, but it separates out your geoscience ones.
Oh, okay.
So biology was our most talked about, very closely followed by tech, including AI and computing. And then it was physics, then health, then psychology, and then environmental earth science stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Sick.
So those are the top fields we talked about. I think that's a pretty good spread.
Pretty good spread, most of the planet.
The word, though, that appears the most in our stories, if you just look at the titles of the stories and the titles of the shows, was the word sharks. It's great. Science.
Yes.
Look who's coming up, Shucky. Oh, yeah.
And our most popular segment, anyone have a guess? It was, our most popular was Weird Science, because we do that about 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But if you discount that one, because lots of different things in there, what do you think is the segment that appeared most on the show?
Oh, don't be.
It's got to be MotoRap, right?
Nah. It was not.
Space News?
MotoRap was 48 out of 52 shows. Space News, 50 out of 52 shows. The most common segment was support for Triple Z.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, onto the website.
And if you haven't yet, in this Radiothon special, 4ZZZ.org.au is where you can go to join those supporters. Thank you to everyone who did support. We've got a list of people who opted in to have their name out. It was Samuel, Bob, David, Jeff, Tony, Gavin, Mark, Alex, Julian, and Nick. Thank you to them and everyone else who subscribed during this show and throughout Radiothon. You can join them at 4ZZZ.org.au. That is all we have time for. We'll be back in your ears next week. Thanks all of you, Max, Izzy, Peter, for your stories this week, and Maximillian. And thanks to Toby for editing up the podcast, which you can find wherever you get your podcasts. Just search up No Idea 4ZZZ. There's no other K. Between now and next week, don't think you're safe from a humpback at the bottom of the ocean. Give somersaulting a go to extend your copulation. Always target your wiping. Grow your cocoa beans south of Glasgow. And, of course, support for Triple Z.
And we'll speak to you next week.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.
I'm a goddamn marvel of modern science.